Hello, my name is Jessica Silver Sharp, and I'm one of the librarians at Skyline College Library. Today I'll be demonstrating how to navigate to a library database called NewsBank on the Skyline College Library webpage. The first step is to go to the library webpage, and the URL is skylinecollege.edu/library/. You need to start on this page because you'll be signing in to the database. The next step is to scroll down to Databases and select the tab. And from here, you want to select Databases by title, clicking right here. And then from here, we have the entire list of all of the databases that the library subscribes to. And we're going to select the letter N for the NewsBank database. Now that we're on N, we can see there are other newspaper databases here as well, including Newspaper Source Plus. Here's NewsBank. Here's the free New York Times, which you can subscribe to as a student by signing up for an account. And then here's the historical New York Times archive, all of which are really great resources. So NewsBank, what we'll focus on today, is a specialized database that contains the news in a lot of different formats, including articles, newswires, web editions, blogs, videos, transcripts, and the like. This is a great source for looking for historical articles, especially for events in California. So I'll go ahead and select NewsBank, and I'm going to log in, as you would too, with one login, which is the same way that you would log into Canvas. My username is saved, so this is the first part of my email address without the @. All right, once we've arrived at NewsBank, you'll see this first blank search box for a general search, but we're going to do a narrower search so that we can find a specific historical event. So I'm going to select more search options right below the box. In other databases, this is sometimes called advanced search. Now we can select specific keywords and dates so that we won't have to scroll through thousands of articles. So my strategy is to pick keywords that best represent the topic I want to look for. And what I want to look for is I want to find out what was the role of students in the 1968-1969 strike at San Francisco State, which resulted in the establishment of an ethnic studies department. This strike was sometimes called the Third World Liberation Front strikes, but at the time, 1968, it wasn't called that, so I won't use that title in my keywords. Instead, I'm going to start with the location, which is San Francisco State. At that time it was college, not university. And I'm putting that phrase in quotations because I want the computer search engine to search for those three words in that order in whatever articles it brings up. I don't just want articles about San Francisco. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my date range. And I did a quick Google search and found out that my strike started in November of 1968 and ended toward the end of March 1969. So I'll separate those dates with a hyphen, and over here is the dates field. Next, I'm going to use the plus sign over on the left to add a couple more fields for keywords. And the keywords that I'm going to use identify the students, because I'm interested in the students' role in the strike. And then I'm just going to put the word strike. So now I have a strategy for finding articles, and I'll go ahead and click search. All right, now I'm at my results page, and I have a little kind of faded line here that says 332 results. This is a good body of search results. 20 would be too few, and I don't want 1,000, so this is about right. And the articles appear 20 articles to a page. So down the center of the page, what I have is the name of the newspaper where the article is published. I also have the date it was published. If I hover over the page number, what I get is an article preview that shows my keywords highlighted in yellow. And from here, I can go to view the entire document if I want. On the right side of the screen, I have a sort of a mini preview box that also highlights my search words, but not in yellow. You can see them in the little box: students, third world strike. I'm scrolling down. I'm looking for a headline about students. And this looks likely to be it. Students, P for maybe protest. Not sure. Students. So let's go ahead and hover over page 5 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and view this document. So now I'm in the original newspaper, a picture of the original newspaper, and my search words are still highlighted in yellow. Over on the right, I have a thumbnail that shows the entire page. What I usually do next is I use the plus and minus functions over here, and I'm going to shrink this page to get a sense of what other headlines on the page might be relevant to my topic. And after a quick scroll, I can see that clash of views on campus unrest is probably also relevant to my search. So now I'm going to bring it back to be big enough that I can actually read it. And I'll take a look at the article, make it a little bigger. And now I can see that the article is about the strike leaders, talking about how the strike is almost over, they don't have an agreement, and what are they going to do next to make their college what they want it to be. So that's relevant, and I want to save this article. And now I have a number of ways that I can do that. This is a very flexible database. So one of the ways is using Save to My Folder. So this is an icon of a folder with a little person. And this option allows me to save all my articles so that when I come back tomorrow and log in, they're still there. And when I click Save Articles, I do need to register for a personal folder, which is free and just takes a minute. So this is one of the options for saving all your articles in one place. Another option would be to download using this arrow button. I can download the full page, or I can download a clip, for example, one article on this page. And I have choices. When I click download, I can either download the full page PDF to my computer desktop or USB, or I can send the article straight to my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on the Google Drive triangle icon to select that option. And the next prompt is asking me if I want the citation to the article, and I definitely do. So I'm going to click the box that says Include Citation, and my professor says APA, so I'll select that citation format, and I will click Save, and then I'm being taken to my Drive, my Google account. I'm going to just log in, make sure it's there. I need to allow NewsBank to access my account, so I'll click Allow. And then right here you have a little message that it's saving to Google Drive, and it takes, I don't know, a few seconds. And once it's completed, almost there. Now I'm going to go ahead and sign out of Google Drive to save time on this tutorial from having you watch me navigate through Drive. So I'll sign out here and click OK. My final option would be to email the article to myself. Well, in addition to printing, two other options. And to email the article to myself, I click on the envelope and I can use either my school email or my personal email address. And I am both the to and the from recipient. And I can go ahead and send that off to myself. All right, and I get a little message that says email successfully sent. The next thing that I need to do is to, up at the top, click on back to my results. Takes just a minute. Now that I'm back, I have another option. I can continue to scroll and look at articles, other articles related to my topic, or I could alter my original keywords over here. For example, maybe I would choose to remove students so that I would also get articles about faculty. And maybe I might like to say strike or protest so that I find articles on both of those keywords, using both of those keywords. So, as a recap for this tutorial, we selected keywords and dates that best represented the articles that we wanted to find, and we saved ourselves lots of time from scanning and scrolling through articles that were not on our topic. If we also saved articles for future use in a variety of different ways by emailing to ourselves, downloading to our Google Drive, or setting up a personal folder. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll enjoy searching NewsBank. Thanks for listening.